All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're looking at the Streamlight Microstream. This is going to be a small 1 AAA battery flashlight that runs at about 30 lumens. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen in previous videos, this is not the only flashlight I carry. I also tend to carry two flashlights with me. The Surefire G2X Pro and the Streamlight Microstream. Now, a lot of people wonder why I carry two flashlights, but in all honesty, I tend to use the Surefire if I want something very bright and really illuminate whatever I'm working on or looking at, and then use this as just a little tiny work light. And that actually works really well because the batteries in this are cheap and easy to come by because they're, let's face it, it's a AAA. CR123s are a little more expensive, a little more difficult to find unless you go online or feel like paying $6 a battery at the store. If you go online, they're like $1. Now, 30 lumens may not seem like a lot, but in most situations, it's more than plenty. And that's going to be more for utility purposes, less of a tactical purpose. So if you're just walking home at night, if you're looking for your keys, things like that, this is really all you're going to need. If you're looking for a tactical light, that's where you want to step up to something a little bigger, more like the Surefire over here. Now, one of the best things that I've found about this little flashlight is the belt clip on it. So you'll probably notice it does have a little bit of a weird design to it. It's kind of like an S shape. So what that does for you is typically if you're putting this in your pocket, you're going to hook it on your pants and it's going to have the clip facing down, something like that. But what it also has is this right here. So this secondary clip is designed so you can actually put it on a hat. And that is going to be something like this. So what you can do is spread that extra clip out a little bit and it slides right on. Now, even though that may not look very secure, it doesn't go anywhere, it's not going to go sliding off, and it actually works as a really good headlamp. I've actually gone an entire weekend camping trip, and this has been my only headlamp I used. Single battery lasted the whole weekend, and I was using it very consistently. Now, if you're one of those guys that is very particular about not having scratches on their gear, not having little scuffs, scrapes, things like that, you may not want to carry it in a same pocket as everything else because let's face it, the finish does scratch up. Personally, I could give two shits if my shit scratched. Now, the reason this one in particular is so scratched up is because I tend to carry a lot of other things in the same pocket as this. This one is going to often go in that little fifth watch pocket in the front of your pants. And it does get scratched up, it does scrape against other things I have in there, and there goes your finish. But honestly, it's a sign of wear and tear. It's not something to be afraid of. The flashlight still works great. It's not going to affect its function in the slightest. Now, I will admit, I've had this thing for over 2 years now, and I did have a problem with the tail cap on it. After about 8 months of daily use, the switch itself started to fail on me. It was just kind of getting a little bit sporadic when it would turn off and kind of flutter a little bit. And so it was a little bit concerning, but let's face it, it's a cheap flashlight. I wasn't overly worried if it did die on me. So I contacted Streamlight, and within about 3 minutes of talking to a rep, they had had a new one in the mail for me. And there was no questions asked, just told them what was going on. They sent me a brand new one. Didn't even confirm that I had purchased one in the past, and it was very, very good of an experience for customer service. One of the best ones I've had personally. But overall, if you're looking for a solid flashlight for utility purposes that is not going to break the bank, I definitely recommend the Streamlight Microstream.